One. Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Slash Chat Podcast, where I forgot to unhost, and I'm going to do that right this second.
Great start.
Great start. Well, some of the most awesome intros have been those of just complete fuck ups. Just to let you know, you are free to cuss, you are free to rage, you are free to just in general. Vocally say anything you want. We will not hold it against you. We don't have that many, like, firm rules of no cussing. Just fuck that. We're all about freedom of speech.
What's your fucking language?
We're all about freedom of speech here. So, welcome. Hello. Our tradition of Slash Chat Podcast is... Well, the last time I said this, I got quoted as saying a circle jerk, but... Welcome. We're doing another special guest episode, and here our special guest today is the gentleman that direction on my screen, or aka below me in Zoom. Hello. Who are you? Can you introduce yourself? What do you do?
Do you mean you're talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Confused. I'm looking at the stream trying to figure it out. But I am McBriarty. Most people know me by that. Other people call me Matt on my stream. I am a variety streamer. I am part of CRL and United We Stream teams. And most of the time my chat is just hectic as all hell because my viewers love to troll me, but in a friendly way.
So what game are you playing?
Today we played Mario Kart, and then we switched over to Town of Salem. So we had a lot of fun with that. I got killed.
Oh, you did? What were you playing mainly? Like, what was your role?
It's different every time.
Well, when you died, what was your role?
But they were different every game.
So what were you playing each game?
I ranged from Mafia. I had one game where I was escort. I think I was sheriff one game. Like they all have their different roles and what they're supposed to do. So it makes every game fun. I thank God I was never medium. My people know how bad that is. God damn.
So, welcome. Sorry, I head itch. I was like, head itch. Oh, yeah, sorry. So, welcome to Slash Chat Podcast. We are gonna go ahead and tell us, what have you been doing this week? What have you been doing this week? I know, McBriarty, I'm just gonna continue calling you McBriarty, because that's... I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher the name openly.
Do it.
So, McBriarty, what have you been up to this week? In general, just concerts, TV shows, anything. This is just not, it doesn't have to be gaming. It's just like, what happened to you in the past week?
This past week, for TV shows at least, I've been catching up on Friends, which I have never watched the show ever.
I can see
Never.
Alex's eyes. It's just like, what?
Huh?
Trying to make it a little interesting here. No, one of my friends, PDP, we actually call him Ross because he sounds exactly like Ross. So I've been watching Friends to try to make the connection. And I realized after watching about 14 or so episodes that he is Ross. He even acts like him. But other than that, I've just been like watching the same shows as everyone except for Game of Thrones because I hate that show. Yeah.
I don't hate it. I just don't give a shit about it.
What was that, Alex?
I don't hate it. I just don't give a shit about it or anything else on TV. I watch on-demand shit.
I watched Gotham, NCIS, Flash.
Have you seen Daredevil yet?
No.
Go watch
I've heard
Daredevil.
Everyone says that's a good show.
Oh my god. I ruined my sleep schedule to Daredevil this entire week. I've ruined my sleep schedule thanks to Daredevil. It sucks.
Insert twisted comment here.
What else have you been up to other than TV? Anything fun? Anything interesting? Pull yourself off of Twitch for a second. What have you been doing in the real life?
Sleeping.
Fair enough.
Yeah. My life is pretty boring outside Twitch.
It's all good. It's all good. What? Huh? Alex is like pointing fingers at things. Alex,
What?
you were like doing this, and I was trying to figure out what you were doing. I was like, what is he poking at?
It's okay.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm listening. Don't worry.
Well, it's your turn.
I was gonna say you must not be listening that well.
Oh. Well, this new job has been taking up a lot of time, and I haven't really been able to do much else.
They have a way of doing that.
What?
They have a way of doing that.
Well, it's a good paying job, and the thing is, since I'm going to be going to Anime St. Louis this weekend, I gotta make up all the hours by doing 10-hour days all this week, Monday through Thursday, 10 hours each day. And you know, the game, it's not a bad job at all. I'm able to get stuff done and everyone's real nice. It's just sitting in a chair for 10 hours is not cool. I'm staring at a computer screen for 10 hours, even though Kat does it all the time. So that's her thing. And you get tired, you get stiff, and you get lethargic. But once this week is done, then I can just go straight 8-hour days and I'll actually have time at the end of the day to actually do stuff. I can just get all that stuff done in the morning and just get on. But in between that, I've been trying to just catch up on some games. Haven't really been able to play Bloodborne much. I finally reviewed, not previewed, reviewed the full release of I Am Bread.
Woohoo! Yes!
And
what did you think of it? It wasn't as
uh,
bad as you expected, was it? I Am Bread is awesome, and it has a cult following, and you should be bread, aka toast.
Now, you and Ray Tog said that it was shit and that it was
is
dumb. Sorry. Now in the previews I did, I've been watching this all the way since early access when I did a preview, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. You know, I can see this being an actual game. Then I got to the full release. And I thought, the review is up, and let's just say, God damn it, you guys were right. It's not good.
Best ending ever.
The ending was entertaining, but everything else was game should not. I
said it in Nappa's voice.
That game should not be that buggy as a full release. Holy crap, did they not fix those bugs? Jesus Christ.
What were you expecting from a game?
I kept getting stuck in the goddamn walls and I can't move. And they require you to do all this setup to get things lit. And when you hit the floor, you have a very short period of time to recover. And sometimes you can't because you're not by a ledge. And the game has frame rate problems and the level design is so damn big. And all the extra modes are just kind of schmaltzy and boring. And I'm like, God damn it. Why was the preview okay, but now it's not?
Because it was I Am Bread.
So I put up the review, and the thing is, by the time I finished the game, I'm like, I am defeated here. Because I just wanted, I'm like, I need to get this done. I need to see everything about the game, and then I just gotta move on. So I'm done. And I'm like, they have this thing called YouTube bait that's going to get kinds of games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Surgeon Simulator, you could even like Slender, all those games that are really just built for the Let's Players. This is one of them. So I'm so mad because like this, what did I see in this before? This is probably the fastest drop in quality I've ever seen with a game from preview to full.
So Alex, would you say you had a case situation of where you got so drunk the girl was hot, but then the next day you wake up and you realize she's ugly?
Metaphor. How is that metaphor so perfect? I had beer goggles. I had preview early access beer goggles. That metaphor shouldn't work, but it does.
wow, this game's great.
Yup, exactly. That's exactly what happened. It was beer goggles. It was.
Oh God, now I have that stupid song in my head. Bobby,
So I'm gonna try, and
goggles
once
on that
Anime
one.
St. Louis is over, I'm gonna like, okay, I really just, hopefully the next game I review or preview is actually gonna be good. Because this was the fastest drop in quality from preview to review I've ever seen. But I've been kind of trying to take some breaks. We've been still doing the Let's Play channel. We did the Mount Your Friends thing on Matt's channel, and I'm like, we need a palate cleanser. So I'm trying to cleanse my palate after the beer goggles that was I Am Bread. That metaphor works.
She's just getting a kick out of this. She's
No,
probably
I just
She's
realized that we
feeling
have an
the
amazing
I
guest
was
on the
right
show.
splashing on her
No, it
face.
actually
like-
wasn't about you, Alex. It was actually. I
Now I
realized
gotta post that on Twitter. Almir Mill said that my I Am Bread experience was beer goggles, and I'm like, God damn it, she's right.
But I just read chat. It was like, I like the graphics on Life, but the storyline sucks. And I'm like trying to figure out what was happening. And then I scrolled up and I was like, oh!
Don't worry, we're just having a lovely chat in your chat without you.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Beer
Oh.
goggles.
Did you seriously just put that on?
Yes, and I tagged you.
You're welcome.
You
been
were
tagged
right.
beer
Why?
goggles.
I don't know what I was thinking.
That's usually what people say after they have an experience with beer goggles.
What was I thinking?
Reason
What
number
happened?
541. Jeremy doesn't drink.
Okay. I'm gonna favor that and retweet.
Okay. I putting stuff on Twitter, you need to understand that people will favorite and retweet it, even if you don't want to,
Yeah, totally.
because it's public. But yeah, that's really what I was doing.
Jeremy, what have you been up to this week?
Mostly a lot of boring things. Still 2 jobs and full-time school, so mostly that. But a couple of cool new things coming along. Finally got my own little welding equipment at the house. So I'm gonna go spend about $100 on sheet metal and start making an Iron Man suit because I'm a nerd. Finally got a couple core files for it figured out, which I'll probably be assembling that while we're talking tonight because I got to do something with my hands. And if Nara is in chat, I'm sure he's going to have a field day with that comment. I should not have phrased that way. Anyway.
Oh God, Khan's there. Sorry, I didn't see the Khan was there.
Con!
Yep.
Sorry, had to.
Yeah. I know.
Especially since I've got like
expected you to. I expected
I've
you.
got
I
a
would have been
card
disappointed.
that just came in the mail today, actually, that's like a Leonard Nimoy memorial kind of thing. It looks like a stained glass thing, and it's got Spock doing hand things. Anyway, so getting ready to do all of that. Repairing the roof at the gym in the middle of a rainstorm because no one's done anything to the pipes since 1974. Probably, I don't know for sure. So a lot of that. Game-wise, mostly getting people ready for the VTM game.
Which I muted and was about to say, and I haven't done my backstory yet.
No, you've done part of it,
I've done part
and
of
you're
it.
still writing.
Ugh.
This girl gets into her characters. But that's okay, because that makes more fodder for me to play. Insert maniacal laugh here. And other games-wise, Skylines, which I've been having a lot of fun with. It's what, SimCity, the newest one, should have been, not a crash fest, which is the only thing I saw out of it.
I have a fucking receipt.
I wasn't going to go there, but yeah. They have to prove you bought it, Vegeta. But I have a receipt. Yeah.
I love that video.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite Team 4-Star videos. Actually, it used to be my favorite, but then they did the Helsing Christmas. And
Tax
if you-
the hell out of the underprivileged.
And if you haven't seen a Helsing Christmas thing, you should go see it. because it's pretty damn hilarious. 7 Days to Die just upgraded to Unity 5 not that long ago, and I just upgraded my computer about the same time. So I've been having some fun actually playing that. I might actually post videos at some point soon. And some Skyrim. Not a whole lot else. Not much time for gaming with my schedule. But as soon as the roof gets fixed, the warp wall will go in, and then I'll be done building stuff for a while, and I can actually train and have fun. That's me.
Okay, so this week has been a clusterfuck of busyness. Just saying. So, the week... What was it? Was it Thursday? Wow, my days are so flooded together. It's ridiculous. Okay, so at some point last week, I had decided that I was just gonna entirely just be like, fuck this, I'm done smoking cigarettes, and I'm just gonna go on with my life and continue vaping. And here's my little thing that I had before. And it's gross and disgusting, and I burnt out coils in like 2 or 3 days and realized that I needed to upgrade. And you guys have already seen me puffing on this tonight. This is my upgrade. This massive box of vape is my upgrade.
Looks like a tape recorder. Looks like one of those like.
The best part about it, you can charge your iPhone. Like legit, you can charge
you can
like
smoke
yours.
and charge your iPhone. Okay.
Uh-huh. Well, it
21st century.
this thing like has like a week-long battery life. It's amazing, like absolutely amazing. Little gauge of like your battery and everything. Oh, it's so awesome. But actually, this I bought yesterday, day before, something like that. Again, days are just flooding together. So I. Like I said, had decided that I was just done smoking. I was gonna be like, fuck it, I'm done. And decided to upgrade. Saturday, I had a movie premiere. I know I've hyped up my movie premiere for like the last month. Which I think I have here we go. The movie is called Ver. Ver means four in German. Movie, legit, actual, like,
She's a movie star.
movie. Movie. You should be able to find me somewhere on here. Maybe I can find me. There I am. I am the villain. It's awesome. There's me up top casting lightning. But yes. Movie. It was awesome. I'm still trying to figure out if there's a way to view it, like, online. I know there are DVD copies of it, but you have to get them through Brian Lemley, aka Twitter at BKL Studios. So yes, right now it's only on DVD and very limited DVD. He only got so many made. But it was awesome. If you get the chance to actually buy a DVD, I greatly encourage it. I love supporting indie movie makers. They're awesome, and they need all the support in the world. The same with, like, indie video games. It's totally, you have to support them. Like, where else would we be without indies? Then Sunday. I got to hang out with some amazing people on Fat Planet Entertainment's Live with the Planet podcast on Sunday. We had Hanger, we had BT, we had Dark Ritual, we had Panic Control, we had myself and FP. So we had 6 people for podcast. Absolutely amazing. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I actually got to meet that night our guest here, who is also part of United We Stream, and I am part of my first team on Twitch now. So very first team ever, and it's awesome. You can check descriptions below, and it has a banner to everyone else that is on the team. And I managed to actually put the calendar that I've been working on down below. All you have to do is click on schedule, and it actually takes you to a calendar page. So, my weekend rather, has been extremely busy. When was the day that we went to Dave and Buster's?
Saturday.
That was Saturday?
It was after the movie premiere.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I also went to Dave and Buster's, which was
Oh, I also went to the
awesome.
movie premiere this week with her and some of her other friends.
Yes.
I didn't forget to mention it. I just figured you were going to talk about it, so I didn't bring it up.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah. So, my weekend, extremely hectic, extremely busy. I actually did not stream last night because I had completely screwed up my sleep schedule, and I was just exhausted after I was done with OTalk podcast, and I was just like, sorry guys, I need to go to sleep.
So did you sleep for 12 or 16 hours this time?
It was roughly 16. It was close.
I was joking. Oh
hours.
My.
Yeah, I was out. I slept for quite a long time. It was definitely closer to 16 hours.
Oh yeah. My.
So, on today's topic. Today's topic, we are going to talk about nostalgia. And
I do news first.
well, fine.
I don't have to. I mean, like, just something quick.
What's the news?
Well, there is a new Humble bundle. I know you like to hear that.
Ugh.
Really?
Ugh.
I'm looking.
Dude, the Humble bundle sucks.
What is it?
Origin bundle. Yay.
I'm buying it right now. Fuck this shit.
I mean, okay, here's the base package: Dragon Age Origins, Peggle, Dead Space 2, Medal of Honor, Allied Assault War Chest, Command and Conquer Generals. The only ones that you get Steam codes on those are Dragon Age and Dead Space 2. Pay more than the average. You get Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, Dragon Age 2, Bejeweled 3, Mass Effect 2, and more games. The only Steam ones in that are Bejeweled 3 and Mass Effect 2. So I hope you like Origin. No one really does.
I refuse to play on Origin. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I get Dead Space 2. I mean, I already have Dragon Age Origins, but I don't really care about any of those other ones.
I think most of those games were
Mass
already
Effect sucks. Sorry, not sorry.
I think most of the games were already on the last Origin Humble Bundle, though.
Some of them were. I know that, like, one of them was like the first Dead Space, and Dead Space 3 or something like that. I don't know. Fuck
But
Mass
if you
Effect.
like Origins, go check it out.
Yeah, both of you who like Origin. They announced that
That's
Guitar
all 2
Hero
people on the
is
internet who like
coming back.
Origin.
Well,
Buying
Big
it right
Breed?
now.
Yeah, I was like, McBriarty is like, I like Origin.
I'm actually purchasing it right now.
Well, here's the thing. Origin's okay. It's just Steam is like a million times better. That's really the situation.
See, what I do with these is I actually purchase like 3 or 4 Humble bundles and I give them away to people.
There you go.
So
Okay.
The last
Guitar-
Humble Bundle was amazing, which was the indie
Yeah, it
developer
was,
one.
because a lot of those games were new and not ones that they bundled before.
Yeah. Well, no, there were a couple
Well,
on
a
the
few.
indie ones that were
Just a few.
bundled. But
Most of them were new, though.
most of them were. I do agree. Most of them were new.
So, Guitar Hero got announced. It's coming back. You won't be able to use your old instruments, and you won't be able to use past downloadable content. So basically, they haven't learned a thing from getting beaten by Rock Band for like a decade. So there you go for that. Mortal Kombat X came out and stuff.
It
And,
looks so good.
What?
Mortal Kombat X looks so good.
I've heard that for the most part, it's really, really good. Like, I'm not too into fighting games. We kind of talked about fighting games a little bit last week, but I think that anyone who likes that is going to be really satisfied because I've heard a lot of good things about it.
I heard a lot of bad things
Really?
Really?
about today. Like it's completely broken.
Well, I heard that was on Steam. Is it like that
Yeah,
on
it's
the
the
other
PC
consoles
version
too?
only. The console version is perfect, but the PC version is you can't go in multiplayer, you can't get in story mode, you can't even view the credits. Like it's just that bad.
But you can pay real world money for easier fatality inputs.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Are the fatality
Mhm.
commands too hard for you and complicated?
What?
You can pay real money to get easier fatality commands.
Mhm.
I'm not kidding. These are real.
Yeah. You
Why?
press, like,
Because
you
people are
press-
babies.
Yeah, if you pay for
Remember
that, you
when
press,
that
like,
was
2
a
buttons.
cheat code and you got it for free? Nope, now you gotta pay Manny's. And I guess the only other thing that's kind of big is that they just dropped a ton of Mario Kart 8 DLC news, and there's like a ton of it, but there's so much I'm not even.
I was gonna say.
But
I'm hyped.
yeah, well, okay, since he's hyped, now I gotta talk about it. So
Yeah.
announced, Animal Crossing stage, F-Zero stage.
Is that actually announced?
Yeah, Big Blue.
Oh shit.
So like, okay, why don't you just make a new F-Zero? Because Mario sells. Like there's all these trailers and Baby Park, a bunch of stuff from the Game Boy Advance one, the Neo Bowser City, Animal Crossing characters, and oh my god, there's all these trailers. There's way too many trailers.
Just between the Animal Crossing map, the Baby Park map, and 200cc, I'm never gonna stop playing Mario Kart. They hooked me now. Like I can't.
Nintendo's doing DLC right. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a lot of content. I mean, okay. So that's kind of the big news. I mean, everyone's kind of been talking about Mortal Kombat, and I'm just like, if you're into that, I guess. I mean, I don't really have a problem with Mortal Kombat. I'm just not big into
Mortal Kombat.
But that's actually kind of an interesting segue into nostalgia.
Uh-huh.
Because, I actually saw an article of a lot of journalists have been talking about this, saying, is Mortal Kombat's violence too much? And at first I'm like, you do realize it's 2015, right? This series is old. But I think their arguments are, is this too immature? Have we grown out of this violence deal?
Nope.
Exactly. That's what everyone said. Like, that's the whole point of it. And, they say, is it immature, like these violent things? And I'm like, define mature. Like, what is mature to you? And they can't answer it. Honestly. So it was like, do people kind of stick with that, youthful mentality of, is Mortal Kombat still something that matters even as an adult, even though when you were just like a devious little kid who found a way to turn the blood on? And what are you laughing at? Are you laughing at Nara?
I'm laughing at Nara. I love how you can't spell Cardinal's name right, though. Ray Tog and Cardinal have merged to create, I don't know who that person is they created, but he no doubt has the Aussie survival skills, though clearly the epic facial hair did not translate over.
Nara's threatening to stalk me in Anime St. Louis. Creepo.
Are you two gonna finally have your date though?
I'm not gonna have a date with him.
Why not?
Because
Nara has been wanting it for so long.
I don't swing that way, and you guys know it. Stop trying to.
I don't know that. I'll set you up with some people.
Even if I was gay, I wouldn't go up in Nara.
Oh, Jew.
Oh, sorry, not sorry.
So.
And Nara, I have some aloe if you would like it to apply to the burn. I don't know why I just wanted Hans and Franz there.
They show a picture of the burn heal from Pokemon without any text, but you just know exactly what that means.
I wouldn't, because I've never played Pokemon.
See, I'm going to wander around, but I'm going to like print out a picture of Cat Skrillex and put it on my messenger bag so everyone knows who I am. No, Nara, no. No.
No means no.
No. You can go play with the bronies. There's going to be a brony panel there for some reason, because apparently My Little
furry
Pony is anime
cosplay
now.
sex?
Welcome to Slash Chat Podcast, McBriarty.
I'm
Welcome
gonna
to
wear
Slash Chat
my Dan
Podcast.
versus Jerk shirt and see how many bronies approach me, because apparently they like have some fascination with Dan from Dan versus, because for some reason he's in all these stupid pony.
That just
don't
reminds me
understand.
of The Daily Show, though, because The Daily Show, he said how you don't hire carpenters off of Craigslist to do your house because they'll just make a giant furry house and just have sex with it.
Hey, you furries!
Another reason why Jon Stewart is my hero.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's leaving.
What the furries do in their privacy is what they do. I'll just stay over here and face the other way.
I'm never gonna know real world news anymore once he stops hosting.
It's true.
Yeah, they're losing all that talent. Like everyone's leaving. Just watched John Oliver show instead.
I don't like him.
You don't like it?
No.
You get a demerit for that. I think it's better than Daily Show, but that's just me. Okay. But okay. Mortal Kombat, yeah. People play Mortal Kombat for the fatalities, for the violence. I don't see that's the thing I don't understand. Like, I don't know what they mean by mature. Like what is their definition of mature? Nara, you're a bad person, and you should feel bad for posting that horrible meme image. Don't click that.
Do
It's
it.
terrible.
I don't care what the link is. I will always click it.
Well,
It's a dangerous thing to tell people in this channel.
Yeah.
That is very dangerous in this channel.
Post whatever.
Nara, be gentle.
Oh, does that look like Alex? Because I think that looks like
I've had
Alex.
some pretty screwed up links posted in my chat.
I don't look
I've
like
been
that.
rated
I'm
by
not a
4chan.
sloth.
We've had 9 gag raids here.
Yeah.
We have.
Forewarning. We have had them.
See, mine was really bad because I was racing on Mario Kart when it happened, and there was 80 people from 4chan just popped in, and all I saw was my follow alert going off where it was like, fly ISIS and join ISIS today, and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna get banned.
Oh no.
It was bad.
4chan, where the trolls live.
And Nara has been made leader. But on to topic of nostalgia. Nostalgia topic.
In my day.
So, nostalgia topic. What is the very first game you guys have ever played? And on what console?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Pong.
I was gonna say that. Does that have to be a
I'm
console?
old.
What was that?
Does that have to be a console or can it be a handheld?
Oh, it can be handheld. It can. I just
Whatever,
say when I say
person.
console, I mean like PC. What device was the game played on?
Oh.
Atari. Pong. I
Mine
wish
was-
that wasn't the answer. Wait, no. It wasn't Pong. It was Joust.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Joust is?
Nope.
An old ass game.
Well, yeah, if it was the first game I ever played, I'm like a century older than all of you, so.
A century. You're a sage druid who has lived across the ages from a new land.
Anyway, mine was on handheld. It was Pokemon Yellow. On a console, like actual sit-down one, it was Spyro.
You kids are little tiny kids.
I'm only
Mine was
22.
one of the Sonic games on the Genesis. It's like when I hear people say my first game was Super Smash Brothers Melee. And I'm like, how old are you? You shouldn't be on the internet right now.
Now, when people talk about like NES and Atari, I'm just like, what does that even look like? Like, you could have a lineup of consoles and I couldn't pick it out. I've
How
never seen
old
it.
are you?
Nintendo would be pretty easy to pick out. So would the Atari because they have their names printed on
True.
Just
for
scratch
ease
it
of
off.
identification.
Just scratch it off. You'll fool me every time.
I probably played a PC game before that, like Number Munchers.
My first game that I ever played was Gertrude's Secret, and it was for like the Apple DOS.
I know what my first PC game was. It was The Legend of Soltar. It was solitaire. Get it? Get it? You ever watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
No.
When I had TV and nothing better to do.
There's that scene where they get the caveman and Frylock's trying to teach him how to use the computer, and he's like, "Here, play this video game. It's the Legend of Soltar. See, he shoots missiles and he's moving the cards across." Oh, Nara, go! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Nara, you are banned from talking forever.
Oh, hey, by the way, Alex, if you can do me a favor and send me back host, that'd be awesome. So that we don't, in 40 minutes, just go offline.
What do you want me to do?
Go into manage participants
Okay.
in Zoom and hand me back host.
More make host.
Awesome.
Why was I the host?
Because when I left, it would shut us all down if I didn't make
Why'd you
someone
do
else
that?
host.
Because she didn't trust me with host.
Yeah, totally. Oh, shit, I forgot you have pro.
Yeah, that's what I said. She didn't trust me with host.
I
That's the
totally
only reason
forget.
I didn't get it.
I'm so sorry. Dude, my memory is so bad. Just call me a goldfish.
Okay.
I am
Or
a goldfish. I am a goldfish.
Beep, beep, beep.
But I was just thinking, like, it's getting close to 40 minutes, and I handed you host, and then I'm like, shit, if we don't hand that host back at some point soon, we're just gonna go shoop. But actually, my first handheld was the Game Boy, and was Pokemon Yellow as well.
Yeah.
That was the very first game that I had ever played on handheld.
Cat, you're older than me. How was your first game Pokemon?
On handheld?
Oh, on handheld. What's your first like console/PC game?
Gertrude's Secret for DOS. When floppy disks were a thing.
I remember floppy disks. Those were awesome.
My first computer had no hard drive. It had 2 floppy drives. And they
Yeah.
weren't the little hard floppies either. They were the ones that are like this big.
Yeah. Was it
They were actually
like, was
floppy.
your computer, did it like take up half your room?
No.
No.
Oh, I'm just being a stupid jerk. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, the computer, it was an IBM, can't remember what numbers, but it honestly was about the same size as the desktop I have now. It just, that was back when 50 megs of storage, how are we ever going to fill that up?
Now Grand Theft Auto is 6 gigs
Yeah, right?
plus 70 updates. to the mark.
Oh, I mean, I've got games on this computer that are 30, 40 gigs.
So, then what was your first console you ever bought? Because I know, like, I didn't own the DOS system. Like, my first console, like, and I mean, whether it be actual console, not handheld, but, like, legit console. PC
As
doesn't
in,
count.
I took money from my pocket and bought it, or someone gave it to me.
The first one that you could say was in your possession. What?
Nintendo Entertainment System. Back when you had to perfect the technique of.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, God.
Mine was a PlayStation 2.
Mine was the Xbox One.
Alex?
What?
Not pay attention.
No, Alex does this all the time on
No,
Slash Out
no, I-
Podcast.
I-
He doesn't
I-
give a shit about us. He doesn't care about this show. He constantly is like, I don't know what. Hi. I have obviously a better other thing to do than sit here and listen to the
You
questions.
just said the PlayStation 2. You want the first console I ever owned? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, for console, that would be a Sega Genesis. Console. I mean, I
I
did
think
have
that
like,
was the second one I owned.
I mean, I did have like a
Yeah.
little Windows 3.1 PC, but for consoles it was
It's not really a console.
Sega Genesis.
Sega.
Now, did you personally buy that yourself?
No, it was a hand-me-down from my older cousin.
Okay. So next topic. What was the first thing you actually bought?
I bought like for games. I did buy like some used Sega Genesis cartridges, like Sonic 3 and stuff like that. But console, it was I sold the Genesis to get a Nintendo 64 because that's a great system.
I'm going to assume that buying a PC doesn't count.
No.
The thing is, I went from Nintendo and Sega, then Super Nintendo, and then I really didn't do any console gaming until college, which was N64. And I think I bought one of those, but that was later on.
I just realized how young I am compared to you now.
You're
How old are you?
22.
Yeah, I have 12 years on you.
Like, I've never played an N64 in my
Yeah.
life.
That was college the first time. And I didn't even buy one then. I bought one later on because I wanted to play Conker's Bad Fur Day, GoldenEye, and Perfect Dark.
I still have mine over there
The
somewhere.
first console I completely 100 bought for myself was a GameCube because I wanted to play all the Resident Evils, and that was the only console at the time you could get all the Resident Evil games.
That's true.
So either that or the N64. I actually can't remember which one I bought first. And then until I got the Xbox 360 with the Kinect, and that was several years after it came out, I haven't really bought consoles. I've always been more of a PC gamer. I mean, the game I played the most of growing up, honestly, Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego, because I'm a nerd. It came with a little encyclopedia, and you had to look up events through history in order to catch Carmen Sandiego.
Educational.
I have to ask every Xbox gamer this. Did you unplug the NSA device from your Xbox?
The what?
Also known as the Kinect.
I didn't have a Kinect. I never had a Kinect.
I only use the Xbox for dancing games, so.
But did you leave it
Assassin's
plugged in? Because they can access that camera at any time.
I don't have
Kinda
any.
You're
hard, the
currently
system's
being
unplugged.
watched.
There's no power strip over by my TV right
They're
now.
scanning through your clothes. They're scanning your dick and sending it to viral marketers. Would you like?
Go right ahead. I'm proud of mine, but
Would
anyway.
you like these boxers for your dick?
Oh my god.
Sure.
And then you start getting emails from Amazon.
Okay. For those who have not seen Cooler's Revenge by Team 4 Star, this is not going to make any sense. But for everyone who has, that was for dick. I can't believe all 500 kicked them. 500 of them kicked you in the dick, Vegeta.
So have you seen DBZ abridged?
I have a little bit. I've seen Hellsing abridged a lot. Abridged.
McBriarty?
Yeah, I
seen-
have.
Okay.
I've seen them all.
You've seen, okay. Yay!
Going away. Going to miss it. There! I took the shot. He's dead. There's blood everywhere. Oh, you are just a treat.
I really like watching the Krillin Let's Plays because they're just hilarious.
Okay, let's see. How bad is this? Happy Halloween, Baldy!
They're really good at that. Takahata's super swell.
Yeah, we quote a lot of abridged
Yeah.
here.
Actually, the funny thing is, Vegeta
Takahata
and
keeps
Krillin,
posting pictures of him at the gym, and he's fucking ripped. Jesus Christ, man.
yeah, but Vegeta and Krillin, and actually Piccolo and a couple of others, are all, oh, right. Landy
Kids?
Couture. His name went out of my head for a second. Landy Couture does all of those voices. So when he does the Krillin Let's Plays and it's Vegeta shoving him in the room and locking the door, he's actually talking to himself.
I love when you do that.
McBriarty has met his first Nara post.
The
I'm
funny
not in
part
chat
is
right now.
there's-
What was it?
there's actually a really funny story behind that too. Because
Excuse me, where is this going?
okay, so
It sounds like
Your
you're
dark
trying to say that this actually happened.
this happened as a joke, but okay,
So it did happen. Okay.
yes, no, but it's really funny though. There's
That's
this
what
thing
I'm
on
getting
Xbox.
into.
Naraland stays in Naraland.
There's this thing on Xbox called the Xbox Ambassadors, where you get stuff before other people. You're basically their beta testers.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
on the Xbox, when they first introduced the Internet Explorer, we all kind of did like a side chat off the Xbox forums, and we're like, guys, we're all just gonna search porn, and that's it. We're not gonna look it up. We're just gonna search it. So when they look at everything we've searched on trying to do Internet Explorer, it's just porn. And we did that, and we actually got it banned off Xbox.
Joke's on you, Nara. You didn't see that coming, did you? You thought this would be a joke, but
Yeah, every bad
Oh,
thing you
man.
think I could do, I've probably done. So just keep that in mind.
So you and Nara are going to get along very well.
My chat is based out of people who like to troll me and kill me. So I love trolls.
Nara is the resident troll. The reason he has mod is so that no one can ban him.
Because he's too funny.
He is awesome.
Nara sexually harasses me when I play Persona 4.
But it's fun.
There we go. Nara's highlighted quote of awesomeness.
Nara, you have a problem. Multiple problems.
That is the funniest quote that is currently in my in my quote bot, which was from Nara. It's epic. So
What were we talking about?
nostalgia.
Yeah.
What
but
is the first PC game that you guys have ever played?
Solitaire?
Doesn't count.
It's on PC and it's a game. Shut up.
Doesn't count.
Trying to remember. Give me a minute.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of like freeware games that I got like on AOL.
It was.
But as far
either-
as far as games in the same sense that we're talking about, that would probably be Warcraft 1, Orcs and Humans.
God, you are all making me feel ancient.
Well, I mean, I
Um,
wasn't good at it at all.
Mine's gonna make you feel even more old. So
yeah, I don't doubt it.
Okay. Go for it. I want to stay.
mine was the first actual disc game, because I don't count like the ones that were on the computer. Was Clue Finders for the 4th grade. I played.
I remember
as
that
my
game.
favorite game. I will still play it. Like
I
to this
remember that game. I remember that fucking series.
There was a game called Sleuth, but it was an MS-DOS game, so most of you have probably never seen or heard of it. It was actually pretty fun. It had like a little 8-bit like
I know what
line drawing,
MS-DOS is. So.
two floors of a house, and you had to run through it, and you had to type in the commands of where you were going and what you were looking at. Games that you have possibly heard of. Let's see, it would either been Where in the USA is Carmen Sandiego? We're sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
There was a chemistry game where you actually had to mix chemical compounds and see the results. And that was a bad game to give someone like me when I was a child, because I learned things I really should not have known how to do.
As a kid.
There's a reason I got kicked out of the Cub Scouts in the 3rd grade. I napalmed the copperhead nest. Yes, I said napalm.
God.
No, I didn't get it from somebody else. But yeah, it was a lot
Someone
of
say
like
Oregon Trail. Someone say Oregon Trail.
that was 3rd grade for me.
I played that at the library.
My first computer, my IBM we actually got when I was about 6. So Oregon Trail I didn't see until at least 3rd grade. It might have been 4th.
That's still a fun game. I think Oregon Trail.
Yeah, it is. I still need to play Oregon Trail. I can't remember if I actually bought it yet or not.
or Super Amazing A Wagon Adventure.
I actually have that, and
Yeah,
Jason, one of my mods, bought it for me, and I still have yet to play it because I don't know.
That was an Xbox Live indie games, but it was actually one of the rare good ones, so go for it.
Rare always used to do such good stuff.
Well, not rare, but not like the company Rare, but one of the few good Xbox Live indie games. Rare kind of sucks now. So.
The whole DOS, me playing Gertrude's Secret, technically would have been my first computer game, but actual computer game that I had legitimately played, we didn't really have, we had computers in school, but my school was a stickler for playing games, so we weren't really allowed to. It was a major group event when we got to play Oregon Trail, and even then I never got picked to play, and I felt super depressed that I never got picked to play.
Aww.
So, legitimately, my first computer game that I, had enjoyed and stuff like that was Unreal Tournament.
Really?
2000.
That's pretty new.
2K. No, Unreal Tournament? That was...
Comparatively.
Comparatively, yeah.
Compared to me,
Warcraft 1.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for trying to spare my feelings, but it's okay.
I mean, Oregon Trail is a lot older.
Yeah, no, the first... Well, the reason a lot of my stuff is, either extremely old or extremely new, because the first console that I personally ever had owned was a PlayStation 2, was the fact a lot of my stuff was hand-me-downs, and it wasn't actually something that I could play on very often. My mom owned the NES that was in the house, and she played Legend of Zelda, no one's business, but then, I didn't really play it all that often because she was the one playing it. And then the first actual console that I managed to have in my possession would have been the PlayStation 2. So, I mean, it's stuff that's, extremely old or extremely new. Because my family just... we didn't really believe in the whole entertainment video games thing. If you were going to have entertainment, read a goddamn book. Was how my family went. So now I'm absorbing the whole gaming thing to an extreme where I'm like, no, I'm going to play video games every day of my life.
So you're like the sheltered kid who gets to college and starts binge drinking, except it's video games?
Yes.
Well, we already made one beer goggles reference. I figured now we've got two different versions of the dangers of alcohol.
True. Gabby asks, what was your first arcade game?
Ooh.
Arcade game.
Now
Donkey Kong. It was Donkey Kong.
Was it in an arcade?
Mm-hmm.
Before we continue, McBriarty, have you been to an arcade?
Depends. Define arcade.
Dave and Buster's
Define arcade. Where there are arcade games.
Does Chuck E. Cheese count?
Yes.
Were there arcade games there?
Okay.
Or was there creepy robots?
No. There were people in...
There were creepy robots at Chuck E. Cheese. There's always been creepy robots at Chuck E. Cheese. Part of their culture.
Okay, but there was... I don't remember which one I played first, but there was
in 2 seconds. I got the printer. I got the paper and the printer.
There was a skeet ball, and then there was some snowmobile one where you sit on the chair and you drive the snowmobile, and I forget which one I played first, but that's all I played.
I don't remember which one I played first, but I've actually have a lot of experience with some arcade games. One that I know I played was there are a bunch of little shooting and racing games, but the ones that I have the most vivid memories of, one is the arcade version of Crazy Taxi, which is the best version. If you can get the PC version today, it doesn't have the original music, and you're not behind the wheel, because the original arcade cabinet of Crazy Taxi was the best. It was amazing. I had also played Dance Dance Revolution. I suck at it, but I think it's still a fun game. But I think that one that I'm sure a lot of people remember and that you you probably have played, and I think this actually might be the first one that I remember, was a Simpsons arcade game. You know, the old school beat 'em up.
Oh yeah, I played that one actually.
Yeah, you play as either Homer, Marge, Bart, or Lisa, and it came out right after the series came out. So like all the characters, you barely see any of them. All the characters are like super super old. But you could do like team up attacks. It was a 4-player, and it's widely regarded as one of the best, arcade beat 'em ups. So when they brought it over to like Xbox Live and PSN, it was kind of butchered, and not very many people liked that version. But one of my fondest memories is the old Simpsons arcade game. It's just I was never really that good at it, but it is definitely, if you can find an arcade cabinet with it, go play the Simpsons beat 'em up. It's really fun, especially with a lot of people.
The first arcade game that I had specifically played was one of the first Soul Calibur arcades. I don't even know which one it was for Soul Calibur, but I remember it being.
Kind of the same.
I've played the third one, but
because I remember my favorite character to play on the arcade was Cassandra. And I don't know why, but like her move arrangement was just so easy for me to like maintain while mashing those 2 buttons or 3 buttons. Like
button mashing.
I know.
And we were kids. We weren't smart enough to do that stuff. I was guilty of it too.
Well, I remember that the one reason why I got into playing that one specifically was I would watch people do tournaments.
Really?
And it was a local ice skating rink, and they would do overnight shut-ins. For the ice skating rink, you paid like so much money, and your kid got to spend the night, and then your parents picked you up in the morning, so on and so forth. But one of the biggest perks was playing the Soul Calibur tournament, and because people wanted something to do. You're not going to skate the entire time, and they had like a couple like arcade games, but it really wasn't like anything big. It was just all about like skating and the skate ring and all that kind of stuff. But they had one Soul Calibur machine, and they would have tournaments, and I would watch, because I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna watch. And so the one time a good friend of mine was actually like one of those people who got into the tournament and was like playing, and she was so good at playing Cassandra that I was like, I'm going to beat her at her own game and play Cassandra. And managed the next time they did a shut-in for it, I played Cassandra, and I got my ass kicked because she memorized the button combos and all that kind of stuff, and I just mashed buttons. So.
I just picture like little tiny cat just saying, "I'm gonna beat you someday.
I'm gonna pwn you."
This little
and
bad
your little
cat.
dog too.
Little kitty cat, just like
yeah.
It's just
and
like,
then I got the PlayStation 2 and got Soul Calibur 2, 3.
It's 2.
It was 2 for Soul Calibur, or for PlayStation
2 and 3 were on PlayStation
2. So I had Soul Calibur 2, and when I played Cassandra on Soul Calibur 2, I hated her. I was like,
well, I
no.
played Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube, and that had Link, so I got good with Link.
Yep.
Should have gotten the GameCube version, the best version.
See, I didn't have a GameCube until much later.
Should have gotten one first.
Well, no, because the PlayStation 2 really wasn't my choice. It was a Christmas gift from my dad. And the reason he got me the PlayStation 2 was because he wanted to play it.
Oh, yeah.
GameCube
One of those.
Huh?
One of those kind of gifts.
Yeah.
Here, have this.
This is for you.
I want to play it.
Yeah, really, yeah.
No, that's the...
Have it.
welcome to my childhood and why I never played video games. Because my dad had a PlayStation 1. I never played it because he was playing it.
Well, now I know where you got your love of games.
Yeah, No shit.
I think for Nara, we need a younger picture of Cat right now.
That's creepy.
I was
Well,
not
Nara
chubby,
said you were
actually.
chubby.
No, not what Nara said, but like we need to give him a picture.
I mean,
No, we
And
need like
Nara's
a
gonna
picture
know?
like, on here of her.
Looking weird.
You know, I actually was way too skinny as a kid.
I bet she has like I picture she can be short with pigtails, but like holding a stuffed cat. That's what we're gonna picture now.
Oh, True Flight! Oh, True Flight, come watch on Muriel on the /chat podcast grill McBriarty about his age and video game stuff.
Wait, what?
I'm getting
True
some-
Flight put that on Twitter. Cheese, True Flight.
His
Cheese.
age and video game stuff. What? Why are we grilling me about my age?
I don't know.
It's because you're the youngest person here. If you weren't here, we'd be making fun of her.
It's true.
We could just all make fun of her. I'll tag along.
And if Ray Tog was here, we'd definitely be making fun of her because he's almost as old as me.
Yeah. It's actually one reason why I wanted to bring up this topic, because I like to know with the newer generations, which I'm actually going to say, like, you and I, McBriarty, is actually part of the newer generation.
There's a
What-
Pepsi commercial in there somewhere.
Huh?
That was their slogan for a while. That's never mind.
Okay. What we find as nostalgia, because a lot of people, when they talk about nostalgia, they're talking about stuff from like the 80s, 90s. And like for us, when we talk nostalgia, like some of the stuff, like when I said Unreal Tournament, that's nostalgia to me. That's
We used
2000.
to have tournaments for that when I was in college.
Right. Shut up, you old man.
People
Let us
hated
talk.
me.
Let the young whippersnappers talk.
See, for me, nostalgia can be like anything I've played before. So like I can go back and play like a Halo game and be like, I get a lot of nostalgia. out of it.
Nostalgia.
Like it doesn't have to be something that's like 20 years old.
Yeah.
Because obviously didn't play back then.
Now
And-
what are we talking about?
But like that's what, like, I wanted to get the two, like, completely different view sets on with saying nostalgia. And a lot of people also, when they say nostalgia, is whether it just be the emotional feeling or whether it be the age of something. One of the things that I have a huge just nostalgic love for is Legend of Zelda. And it could be Twilight Princess. It could just be seeing him. And actually, one of the biggest things that I have nostalgic for as of right now is Assassin's Creed. And the first game came out not that long ago.
2009.
I think they ruined that series though.
They
No,
did.
It wasn't 9. It was 2007.
Revelations was the last game for me. I played 3, I played 4, Black Flag, and I played Unity.
I wanted to love 3. I really
Yeah.
did.
I couldn't get past like sequence 2 on 3. Unity, I got to sequence 1, and I was like, what the hell am I playing?
I mean, I'd probably do better on 3 if I didn't keep running into British patrols and
Yeah.
trying to,
The
well,
guns.
I just keep playing Kill Whitey, honestly, is what happens there.
Yeah.
My grandfather was Lakota, so I'm just like, hey, look, British. And the rest of my family's Irish.
Yeah.
Like, hey, a British patrol. How am I going to slaughter these assholes this time?
No, I do agree as the fact that, welcome to my wall. Like, huge Assassin's Creed fan.
A beautiful pink wall.
Huge. And even for me, I still say I absolutely hate like the newer games. There are elements that are there that are amazing. I love the game series just as a concept and as a whole. The idea of the Creed and the Assassins and stuff like that. But it's still one of those things where I feel like they have just ruined the Assassin's Creed series. They need to go back to having like a person that has 3 parts. Because I'm tired of not giving a shit about the next character. Ezio, you learn to care about. Ezio, you were told his story. You were told his story from beginning to end.
He's the Batman.
And you're not told anything about Connor except for a snippets here and there with his training as a child, and then it's like, oh, now the game's done. And Kenway was the exact same way. And yeah, they're trying to be like, oh, well, there's just more fragments to their history and history of assassins, and it's like, give me something worth playing and getting into.
Give
like,
us someone. That's the thing.
It plays too much into the culture of
person to like.
just hitting buttons and playing a game and not really caring about the story.
Yeah.
And personally, most games I play these days, I play for story. I don't really play FPSs anymore. I mean, like she was talking about Emerald Tournament. I had a blast with that in college, but to me, that kind of game is not fun unless I'm sitting in a giant LAN party with a bunch of my friends
Yeah.
where I can look over my shoulder and laugh at them when I hit them with the Redeemer.
Yeah.
Dude, for me, I can actually still play first-person shooters, but that's because the only one I really play is Halo. But it has an amazing storyline attached to it. Even though, I'm just going to throw it out there, 343 has ruined that game too. But that's beside the point. But that game, like, they're bringing it to PC now. Like, they have Halo Online that's coming. So I think I can play a lot of first-person shooters, but they have to also have a story at the same time.
Yeah. I mean,
I've actually been looking into more first-person shooters.
Do Halo.
But I'm only PC, so I'd have to wait for Halo Online.
You can go onto one of those modder websites and get into the Russian beta. They've done it. Microsoft.
my Soviet Russia, flood you.
Like first-person shooters, the situation with those, I mean, they are one of the interesting genres is because they have changed an enormous amount in such a short period of time. Like,
And look at the first Unreal. What was the story there? There technically was one, kind of.
the biggest example that I see is that look at the entire development time of Duke Nukem Forever. Think of right when it was announced, like in the 90s. Think of all of the iconic first-person shooters that came out during the time it was in development. You got Half-Life, you got Halo, you got Call of Duty. So
yeah,
there
I
were
guess
all of
Half-Life was technically an FPS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was a different kind of FPS. It wasn't really about the shooting. It was a little more suspenseful. So that's why
One of the first games that had a halfway decent AI too.
Yeah. So all those, that's why what makes Duke Nukem Forever such an interesting specimen is because during that whole development, they were trying to keep up with all of these trends that happened during the whole development. And at the end of the day, it couldn't do it because it was trying to pick up all of these pieces. First-person shooters they're changing a lot. I mean, you have all these different niches. You got the super competitive stuff like Counter-Strike. You got some of the more atmospheric stuff like Half-Life and Metro. You got the space stuff like Halo. I like the Halo series. I still like the Halo series. It's probably my favorite first-person shooter series. And then you got, your typical more mainstream stuff like Call of Duty. Now, on the topic of Assassin's Creed, for Hardcore Gamer, I have written countless articles about Assassin's Creed because I just think that it is a series that doesn't know what it wants to do anymore. It's coasting on the things that Ubisoft knows people like, which is
they fired the person who came up with the original storyline instead of keeping him around.
Well, I think Jade Raymond directed that, and she just left before the series tanked. So it's clear that she was very important to the series' success. I just think that I kind of agree with Kat. Like there's no personality to get hooked on anymore. The closest character that I liked in Assassin's Creed was Shay Cormac from Rogue, but that's just because he was a Templar. I mean, that's why his story was interesting to me, because he was a Templar and he was the good guy. So you get to see that the assassins are not all good. Some of them are reckless and assholes. But I think that we're following this faceless present day protagonist who we don't care about. And it's more about this world and this mythology instead of giving us any people to really get into. I think that it peaked with Ezio. After Revelations, I really couldn't get into the series the same way. I am impressed that they actually made me care about Altair in Revelations, because he was
Very one-dimensional.
He was a plank of wood in the first game. He didn't have any personality. But then all of a sudden in Revelations,
Well, he did have a personality, but he was kind of a cock through most of the first one.
That's true. So when
you read the books, you get a little bit more background.
Yeah, I haven't really read anything beyond that, but I just think that it's a series that it's sort of like just a run-on sentence. We're just seeing all these new characters and we're not developing the ones that have a potential. We're just sticking to the same old things that we're doing. Like, who's Arno? I don't know who Arno is in Unity, and I don't care. He looks like all the others. So, but at the same time, I still think that Revelations is a good game, and I still think
Revelations is still my absolute favorite of the Assassin's Creed.
I have to go with Brotherhood.
For me.
I think
Even though they
that's
have
my
John
favorite,
Delancey in there,
but
he's one of my
Revelations
favorite
is good.
actors when he does stuff, just because he can make such a wonderful dick.
Well, for me, it was the story of Revelations that grabbed me. Like, I legit cried when Altair was in the library with and Ezio opened the vault and he like walked in.
Spoiler warning.
Well, I didn't say anything more.
Spoiler.
But spoiler. Okay, fine. We're going to the legit spoiler. I cried.
Spoiler, just this mute until. Okay.
I cried when I saw the flashback of Altair sitting there taking the apple of Eden and choosing to die in the library. Like,
I mean, he was an old guy then.
he was. And it was just one of those really heartfelt moments where you really just got that in-depth look of who Altair was and what he meant.
Especially considering how completely bad of a character he was in the first game.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Alex.
No,
He was a good character.
Personality.
He is my husband. Shut up. Quit talking about my husband that way.
Okay. All right. Your husband grew into a very good character from what at first. More power to him and the people who created him. But in seriousness, that
wait,
moment
if he's
where
your husband, does that mean you're the Templar chick that died?
Apparently.
Oh.
Apparently.
Time traveler.
Templar.
So I got a question. There was the person that left the Assassin's Creed, and it started to go down. Do you think the same thing's going to happen for Metal Gear Solid? Because
Yes.
Kojima's
I'm
leaving?
so scared for that series.
Yeah. Like, I've been watching that, and they're just like, he's fired, he's not fired, and they just keep going back and forth. They won't let him do an interview.
Phantom Pain is going to be fine. Phantom Pain is
Do people
almost
not
done.
realize that uncertainty does not help you win anything, really?
I think they're more doing it for, like, just to have their game and their studios out there right now, because they just want to have someone talking about them.
The controversy.
I don't know
Bad
what-
publicity is still publicity.
I don't know if he's
Doesn't mean
even
it's
like, because
good.
the thing is, they started taking his name off of all the game titles, and then they put it back on because they realized that was stupid. I don't even know if he's even connected with Konami anymore. I have a feeling he's not going to be working on Metal Gear, which terrifies me. But I'm also mad because I want Silent Hills, but
Well,
now
they
I don't
did-
think that's going to happen.
They did shut down his studios and kind of like merge it into
Yeah,
Konami.
so
So I think he's actually gone. They just don't want to take his name off yet because they're like, oh, that was a dumb idea.
man,
No
I
one
love
will buy
Kojima.
this game.
He's such a
Yeah.
he has a permanent shit-eating grin on his face. I love him.
It's like Halo when Bungie left and it was 343 for the first game. People were like, I really don't want to play this, but I love Halo.
Mm-hmm.
New ones are okay, but it's not Halo 3.
Yeah.
I think Halo 3 is the best Halo that's been released so far.
Yeah, if you don't want to cry at the end of a Halo, don't play Halo 3 on Legendary, and there's no cliffhanger. You can stop right there. Your life will be complete. There's only a cliffhanger on Legendary, so there's no point to keep playing after that.
But,
Our RPG has been asking every single one of us if we've played the Tales of series.
I've played one Tales game, Tales of Symphonia on GameCube. I watched a friend play Tales of Xillia 2, I think. Now, I love Tales of Symphonia. That's like a game that I sunk so much time into as a kid on my GameCube. It's one of my best RPGs I've ever played.
What was the first Tales? Was it on GameCube?
No, it was like Tales is a long ass series. The first one was on like the Super Nintendo, but the first
Okay.
one that I played was on GameCube.
Because the reason, like, I know I haven't played any of the Tales games is because, to me, they had started on GameCube. And I think there were a couple for PlayStation 2, but even then,
Well-
I never... Like, I was one of those people, if I was going to play an RPG, I was going to play Final Fantasy.
Yeah, well, the thing with
Okay.
Tales is Tales had like a real-time battle system. It was more action-based, and it's a long-ass series, and none of the stories are really connected with each other. So you got like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Grace, Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Xillia, Tales of something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Fantasia is another one, but it just so they're it's kind of like Final Fantasy. They're individual, self-contained universes, sort of just tied together by a franchise. But Symphonia, that's one of the first RPGs that I really got into, because back then I was still very new to RPGs. Like the only RPG that I knew I was good at was Pokemon. And Pokemon is a relatively accessible RPG, but once I started playing like Symphonia, I'm like, okay, you got to level up your attack. You got to know how to use magic. You got to know how to do that. So then I started, you kind of take place on like a 2D, almost like a fighting game plane, but you still have magic. You still have basic attacks, and huge game. Like right when you think you're at the final boss, surprise, you're not even halfway done. It was a real shocker to me. It was a 2-disc game on GameCube, which is pretty impressive. GameCube games usually could fit on 1 disc, but there were 2. Like Resident Evil 4 was 2 discs. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes was 2 discs. Tales of Final Fantasy.
So what was everyone's first RPG?
Pokemon, actually. Yeah.
I would have to say it was Pokemon, but first chosen RPG, knowing it was an actual RPG,
Symphonia for me. I think it was. I can't really think of any other RPGs that I really played before that. I think it was Symphonia, because I remember I had Nintendo Power and they were
Final
like,
Fantasy Tactics Advanced. As much as it was a RTS, it was also RPG.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance was not an RTS. That was a strategy RPG.
Well, sorry, then strategy
Was the
RPG.
original
But
Zelda?
yeah, I actually played that as a kid too. I think I might have played that before Symphonia. It was one of those 2 games, but I just,
Because, like, my first, like, real just gaming experience was my handhelds. Whether it was, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced, or DS. Like, those were the games that I really played, because I didn't have a console. But I remember absolutely loving Final Fantasy Tactics. Or Tactics Advanced, sorry.
I think I sunk in like over 100 hours in that game. I still haven't beaten it.
Yeah.
I was just dicking around. I mean, it's addictive. It's very digestible. But yeah, it's fun.
Original Legend of Zelda counts as an RPG, right?
Yeah, I would say.
Debatable. Some people say it is. Some people say it isn't. I mean,
Why would they say it isn't?
I guess since there's no like stats, you don't really. I guess the amount of customization of your role, I guess, is a little more limited. But I've heard people say it's an RPG, and I think it could count. I mean, I don't know. I really wouldn't.
I think it's very static RPG, but
Yeah.
you also have to remember the technological limitations of the time. And whether or not you have stats, to me, really doesn't make it an RPG or not make it an RPG.
Well, usually RPG is like you play a role, so you take on this. I don't know. This is probably something for another podcast, like RPGs in general. Bank that topic, Kat. We can save it for another podcast.
How's that for next week?
Sure.
What? I'm being serious for once.
You know, I've played enough RPGs that I think I can contribute to that discussion.
Oh yeah. Seeing that's usually all I play is RPGs.
Because I mean, if that doesn't count, I'm trying to figure out what the first game I played that would have been an RPG was, and it's probably going to end up being a PC game. Because I don't remember too many console games back before, I want to say, at least before Super Nintendo. I'm trying to think of any Nintendo game other than, well, I guess the original Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy.
But
Any of the Final Fantasy is labeled 100% RPG.
honestly, though, I didn't play the original Final Fantasy until much later.
Right.
I haven't even played the first one. First one I played was 7, and then I just I really just played 7. I don't think I played
All
it.
your bases are belong to us. I am. What was the guy's name in the first one? I am.
Which one?
The first Final Fantasy.
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I am Garland, and I will knock you all down.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about I Am Error, and I'm like, that's Zelda 2. But,
No,
yeah.
I hated Zelda 2.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I
did.
actually
played it and I
stopped
couldn't finish
playing the Zelda series then because of that,
it.
and still have yet to go back.
Yeah, Nintendo
Mostly
was smart to go back to the original for Link to the Past. Yeah, I think that was a smart move on their part.
Yeah, that was just, I don't know whose idea that was, but it was terrible because I have not played a Zelda game since. Mostly because I don't have a Nintendo at this point, but I mean, I had one for quite a few years and I just never went back to Zelda games because I'm like, the first one was awesome. This is crap. What the hell?
You should play at least one 3D Zelda. I recommend Wind Waker.
Yeah, I still have never finished the second Zelda game.
Neither have I.
Played
I
the
don't want
first
to.
one through at least. Well, I'll put it this way: if you find some of the maps online of the screens, chances are one of them probably is from me if you look long enough. I wrote illustrated guides.
This is an interesting discussion because it's reminding me of all these games that I played.
And that you haven't played in a long time.
I mean, I kind of really started getting into games on the GameCube. That's when I started reading the reviews and checking out Nintendo Power and knowing all this stuff. In fact, I remember as a kid, I was like 13 years old. I sent a letter. I sent 2 letters to Nintendo Power. One of them, and both of them got in. One of them was basically saying, what kind of mythological characters would you put in a game? And I said, how about one where you like are fighting against the different Greek gods? You get different powers from the gods. You'd have to make it rated M for mature because mythology is adult. And then I'm looking back at this. I'm like, I just invented God of War before there was God of War.
Mm.
But the second one that I sent in, I was like 13 years old. I basically asked them in the Nintendo Power, do you ever, when you're reviewing games, do you ever disagree with other places that review games? Do you even disagree with each other? Because back then 5 people reviewed a game and everyone gave their score. And they basically said, and this is why I think Nintendo Power was so good at reviews. They said, we have these little things in the back of our magazine that says what kinds of genres we liked the most, each of our staff members. So that means that you know what they like and you can get diverse opinions and you can get an idea of it. And yes, they have been disagreed with each other at times and they've been surprised at other outlets. I'm thinking, I've been interested in writing reviews as far back as when I was just a little kid. So
Personal nostalgia.
Yeah.
We were talking.
Huh?
Go ahead.
It's interesting to me because back then my first Nintendo Power was December 2001. So it was right when Super Smash Bros. Melee was coming out. And
That was your first Nintendo Power?
Yeah, that was my first.
This
one.
episode title is going to be called "Make Jeremy Feel Old."
Yeah, seriously. Because my first one was
My
what was their first
Nintendo
issue?
console.
I think I actually have a first issue Nintendo Power somewhere.
My first Nintendo console was the Nintendo 64, and I got it very late in the life cycle. But then I'm like, oh, Nintendo Power, and I'm reading about it. Like, oh my God, Super Smash Bros. Melee looks so cool.
And I'm gonna go around the table for the title of nostalgia. And what nostalgic game to you does not have to be in a time frame as old or new, but something that just gave you the warm and fuzzy nostalgia feeling. What nostalgic game to you would you like to see remade now? Or expanded upon? Or even just rebooted?
I know.
Get to me last because this is good.
This is a game that I played as a kid back. My next door neighbor, who I hung out with a lot as a little kid. We went to Blockbuster. Remember Blockbuster? And we rented this old Genesis game called Ristar or Ristar, or however you pronounce it. Ristar. It was a Genesis game where you played as this little star kid and he could stretch his arms out and grab stuff. This was made by Yuji Naka, and this was actually the character who would eventually become Sonic the Hedgehog before they focused on speed. If they had kept the arm thing, then this would have been a different character. So they kind of took the original idea and made another game that wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog. This game is one of my all-time favorite Genesis games, but not very many people remember it. It has been re-released on Sonic Mega Collection, and it has been re-released like on PC and a bunch of retro collections. I don't think they've ever made a sequel. Jesus. Cat's not that old. She's just a little older than me.
The True Flight was like, it's okay to be ancient cat. Like,
Oh my God.
That's really mean because Jeremy's older than all of us.
By a good bit. Alex, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, so I have 9 years on the next oldest person in this podcast.
Really? Because me and Alex are both the same age.
That's
And
what I
then we
said.
have
I
someone
have 9
who
months older than me.
is 3 years
out
older
here,
than
I have
that.
9 years and 1 day on you.
Yeah, I
But
know.
anyway.
But Ristar is just it's this gorgeous, gorgeous Genesis game, but it never got a sequel. It hasn't even gotten like an HD remake. And I'm like, please, you don't have to make it 3D, just make an HD re-release, just clean it up and remake Ristar, because I adore this game. It is amazing music. A lot of the sound effects that I put in my videos and a lot of the music is from this game. I still go back and play it. It's so creative. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing. But I don't know why they haven't done anything with it. I played it as a kid and I still play it to this day. It's amazing. I have just no idea why they haven't done anything with this. At least make an HD remaster and make it good, unlike that Rocket Knight one that sucked, apparently.
Insert rant. See, I'm having kind of a quandary because several of the games that I really just remember loving and would replay again, they kind of have remade. Like the first Resident Evil. I love that game so much.
And they did the remaster.
Just released one. I've got it sitting on my desktop. I just have to get another.
They remastered a remaster.
Yeah, I know. I kind of wish they'd updated a little, because watching it, wow, this came out, this was like set in 1999. Technology was very different back then.
Mm-hmm. No.
So, and SimCity was another favorite that I have replayed the shit out of. And now they made that Skylines game, which is pretty much what I would want out of a SimCity in this modern day. I mean, I don't agree with every decision they made, but, so I'm sitting here trying to really think, what game did I play a lot of that they haven't remastered that I'd want to see? And I'm really having a hard time coming up with one because, I still go back and replay the original Legend of Zelda. Maybe a modern HD version of that would be interesting.
I think Nintendo would do that. They really like pushing their old stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I
They
had
call
a
it New Legend of Zelda.
I had a Minecraft map I made that was using the Legend of Zelda texture. It was exact recreation of all the dungeons, everything. Because I'm a nerd.
Basically, it's 3D dot game heroes.
Uh-huh. As far as PC gaming, I honestly have a lot of nostalgia for the original Unreal Tournament, because like I said, we would play games of that in college that literally we were there 15, 20 hours in the computer lab doing nothing but playing Unreal, and everyone getting annoyed at me because I was a dirty camper, and I'd sit there with the Redeemer missile and circle around and wait for there to be a big group of people, and then look up and go, "Hey guys, what? You have been redeemed." Damn it, Jeremy! That happened about every
I
10
honestly don't know what game I would really want rebooted, because everything of nostalgia for me, like true nostalgia, has already been rebooted. Like, we can go from saying Tactics to Tactics Advanced and Tactics Advanced 2. Final Fantasy is always being rebooted. They're never gonna stop.
It's because Square really doesn't have any new ideas. They just need to localize Bravely Second, and I will be satisfied. You can milk Final Fantasy as much as you want. Just localize Bravely Second, please.
Well, they did torture a dude on Twitch for 3 days, so they have some new ideas. They're just not good.
Why was he playing Lightning Returns?
No, they had him in a box room, and they just kept coming in, like kicking him, slapping him, shoving a
What
mop
the
in his
fuck
face.
are you talking about?
This actually happened. This
That's
was
terrifying.
This was them announcing Deus Ex, the new one.
That's fucking weird.
That sounds like the ARG for Secret World.
Yeah.
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 It's fucking...
But no, even someone said with Devil May Cry, they made DMC. And there are a lot of games. Resident Evil has gotten HD remake. So there's not really much that I would consider nostalgia that hasn't been remade. Something that I want to say hasn't really gotten a good...
I have an idea.
What?
The original Assassin's Creed.
Nah, it's too
Let's
new.
make
I
it
just-
not the same mission over and over again.
Well, that would be
Yeah.
great. That'd be Assassin's Creed 2.
I don't
Well, yeah.
know,
But
like
explore
something...
Altair a little bit more. Flesh him out in the first game.
They did, though, with Assassin's Creed, Altair Chronicles, which was a Game Boy Advanced game.
PSP.
Who played that?
It was a PSP game.
PSP
Or a
game.
DS game, or one of the two.
Yeah, it was on handhelds, but yeah, I mean that they
I heard
did
it
flesh
wasn't
out
good,
his
though, 'cause it's
character a
like-
bit more on that. I honestly can't really think of anything that hasn't already been remade.
I mean, a lot of these companies coast on nostalgia. A lot of people criticize Nintendo for doing it. And
That's
quite frankly,
Nintendo's freaking business model.
Yeah, they perfected it. It's
I mean,
great.
yeah, I think...
And I'm not going to knock them for it, because I kind of like it that they do that, because I do like those storylines. I do like those characters, and seeing new reinventions of them, as long as they find a way to keep them getting stale. I mean, I haven't played any Mario games for a while, but...
Now, this Deathwalking kind of brought up Battletoads, and that's kind of reminds me of...
Oh god, Battletoads, I forgot about that game. That game was hilarious.
So
It's, a lot of companies, a lot of indie developers are people who grew up with these games, and they're using nostalgia to try and fuel a lot of these modern games. That's why a lot of people like Shovel Knight. They say Shovel Knight is the greatest platformer ever, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's good. And I think it's good because of that nostalgia. It throws back to a lot of these classical ideas. I think you could even make the argument of a game like Dark Souls. Feels very tough. It's very sort of retro archaic. You don't move very fluidly. old school difficult, and I think that.
Well, think about it. Minecraft. Look at the graphics in Minecraft.
Well, that's more graphics. I'm talking more about like gameplay.
That's still a form of nostalgia, though.
Yeah,
That's true.
sort of.
I don't think this. People's like, I hate nostalgia. We should do new things, and I'm like, no, nostalgia.
There are only like 7 stories. We're just retelling them in different ways anyway. So
yeah, the people who are making these like indie devs love nostalgia because they grew up with these games. They want to kind of.
I mean, heck, there is a guy on YouTube called the Nostalgia Critic.
That is true.
And
if you've not seen Nostalgia Critic, you need to
go watch the Jurassic Park one.
Him and AVGN just opened the door for cracking open our childhood and talking about all these things that we remember.
So I think McBriarty has had enough time to decide what he wants rebooted.
I already know. It's already happened, and I cried. For me, it was the Halo games, and they screwed it up so
Master
bad.
Chief Collection?
Yes. I gave them until January, and they still didn't fix it at that point. And I was like, okay, sold my Xbox One, got completely rid of it, bought a Wii U, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done with Microsoft because they screwed up the biggest game that I like.
That was a first-party game, and that's the worst part of it. First-party games usually have a significant amount of quality control. I mean, you could argue like Drive Club on PSN still really doesn't work, but Halo is such a huge franchise, and people play that game for the multiplayer. And when the multiplayer is that
didn't work, it didn't work at all. It was bad.
You're just sitting in the lobby, and
the best part is that I was like, okay, I wish they could get a remake of this, like just try again. And that's what Halo Online is. They're basically just trying again. And they can't screw it up this time. Because if they do, the PC community is just going to get a hold of it. And they're just going to be like, we'll do it. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
I think that one of the best things to ever happen to retro gaming in general is digital downloads.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a period of time around the GameCube was out, that if you saw like a side-scrolling shooter or a top-down shooter or like a pixel beat-em-up, it would never sell. Like Ikaruga came out on GameCube, which is like a top-down vertical shooter. Got huge good reviews. No one bought it. Because, they're like, oh God, I want new Zelda. I want Grand Theft Auto. I want Halo. No one cares about those little small, simple games. But then opened the doors to like Xbox Live Arcade, Steam, PlayStation Network. So these small, little, simple games are able to be produced quickly, distributed directly to the people through an internet connection, don't have to worry about competing on store shelves with Grand Theft Auto, and they can sell them at affordable prices like $20 instead of $60. That's the greatest thing that happened to these things. That's why so many indie games focus on these old school things, because if they put it out on store shelves, it's not going to sell. That's why we have Super Meat Boy, Shovel Knight, a lot of old, like Castle Crashers is a beat 'em up. A lot of old school RPGs like Pillars of Eternity, even though that's a little more top of the line, it's Obsidian, but still these are very retro oriented genres that found their outlet. They can get directly to the people, and they don't have to go through the fickle mainstream crowd on your store shelf at Walmart or something. And it's great. It's great seeing all these little small things. Don't click that link. One of those people was in my chat yesterday. Spam. Yeah, Rogue Legacy is, one of those things, like those super difficult like roguelikes. Those would not work.
I think looking at roguelikes, the nostalgia of just roguelikes in general is probably one of the biggest ongoing nostalgias that people have, because it no longer just turned into like one or two games. Now it has an entire genre like put to it that like people, if there was a modern roguelike, I think people would get upset. If you look at it like roguelites usually have the same graphics, the same, like, older look to them. Like, name a legit, like, up to par graphics now roguelike.
Really, I can't really think of one off the top of my head.
Like, roguelikes in general have just that whole 16-bit, 32-bit, like, graphic design to them. The ones listed, Bastion, like, Shovel Knight, roguelike. Bastion has a...
Well, some of those aren't roguelikes. Like Shovel Knight's not a roguelike, but...
No, but...
Roguelikes are like randomly generated environments with
not Bastion, sorry.
Binding of Isaac is
Barony. Barony, the new game that had just released, indie development. We did a stream pre-released for with a group of us, and it has Minecraft-like graphics. It's a pure roguelike. It's interesting because the rogue like genre is really just older, out-of-date graphics. Like, I can't really think, like, there are some games that have like a roguelike element to them, but they're not roguelites, the rogue-like games. Like, if the dungeon is like randomized, that's fine, but like if you die, you're not gonna completely start over in the game. You're gonna start from like the last save point.
Right.
So they have elements of roguelikes, but I don't think there's been like a new legit roguelike or roguelike genre game that is new.
Yeah,
that have new graphics.
Tossed around a lot, that term, and at this point I'm kind of unsure if people actually know what it means. I'm still puzzled myself a little bit.
I mean, roguelikes to me is easy death, you start over, it's randomized.
So kind of like playing Diablo 2 on hardcore mode.
Sure, sounds right.
Wonder when they'll make Diablo 3.
So I think that, you know, nostalgia is what has made a lot of gaming today. Because the AAA sphere really feels very fickle. And I think that with the budgets of games like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed getting bigger and bigger and bigger, eventually the bubble's going to burst, and just the only people who are going to care about them are like the non-gamers. The people who, that's the reason why AVGN exists, why JonTron exists, why YouTube is the place, because all of these people who grew up with these games on Nintendo systems, like they are the foundation for Nintendo in general, which is why I'm so puzzled why Nintendo hates them so much with their YouTube. These people are finally giving an outlet, because GameStop isn't going to talk about like Banjo-Kazooie or, I don't know, like Final Fantasy V. The people who are going to be talking about these games, these old school games, are the people who grew up with them and found the internet outlet. Nostalgia has shaped a lot of gaming now, and people who are like, Nintendo is leeching off nostalgia, Square is leeching off nostalgia. I'm like, you need to understand how important nostalgia is to what things are going on right now. That's just how the deal works. Oh my God, what happened?
What?
BT.
Hi, BT. Hi, BT. What happened to Powerbot, though? Powerbot jumps into the air and spin kicks Onkart in the face, sending him flying all across
OMG
chat?
hacks. There's a ghost in the machine.
What just happened to... Onkart was with the raid. Oh, that's what happened. What? Hello, BT. Hello, Raiders. Oh my God, I've never seen Powerbot do that. Powerbot quit being a Powerbot. But hello, everyone. Yes. Yes. I know, that's why I was like, Onkart's actually here and made Powerbot go crazy. Hello, Raiders. Welcome. Welcome to the Slash Chat podcast.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the
Speaking
Lost
of nostalgia.
Yes.
Da, 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 da. It's funny because with my boys' classes, whenever I have them like swinging from the rope doing something, I always start doing that.
That's
None
awesome.
of them have any clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're like, what is that?
They just think it's funny music that Coach Jeremy does.
Octodad. So the topic today is nostalgia, which is very interesting, I'm sure, for a few of us here, whether you are the oldest or the youngest, and trying to figure out what is classified as nostalgia. And we were just talking about roguelikes.
I don't even know what a roguelite is. I don't even know what it is.
Well, someone.
I'm clueless as well. That's why I haven't said much.
I'm gonna go back and chat.
Kinda
So
the
you're
same
seeing
way.
chat scrolling. Thank you
just
for the raid,
cat.
though.
He's the only
Welcome.
one that knows.
It's swiming in.
Oh, Trueflight said, has anyone actually played Rogue? The original roguelike, the reason they are called roguelikes.
I've heard of Rogue Ops.
I mean, I've played Thief, which...
Thief's not really.
Thief was a terrible game.
No, not
No,
New Thief.
old
okay.
Old Thief.
The new one was just terrible.
Have a good day, Oncart. Thank you for stopping in, and thank you for making my bot go absolutely insane.
Why
Why did your bot go insane?
It's gonna be
Because Oncart was here, which my bot is Onkbot,
Mm-hmm.
and he made my bot go insane. But Crypto the Necrodancer is a
I
roguelike,
think
yes.
that's true. Binding of Isaac is definitely a roguelike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One though, it's hard. I mean,
Well, here we go. Here's more solidification of roguelikes being older graphics and being nostalgic. Because if you look Crypt of the Necrodancer, yes, it's an awesome, great new concept, but the graphics are still 32-bit.
oh, pixel art is definitely based in nostalgia. I mean,
Yeah,
no
Binding
one
of
really-
Isaac,
no one
I would
really
say
uses
has...
it to show off the technical power of their system.
Binding of Isaac has newer graphics, but still that whole old school, like, feel.
I kind of wish they kept the old school Flash graphics. I'm not too big on the pixel art, but that's just me.
But yeah, so that's very interesting that we kind of got into that topic of the fact that it's like, yeah, technically Diablo is a roguelike, like Jeremy said. Holy crap, text of Nara. Nara
No,
text.
don't do that.
I bet Nara hears that a lot. No.
She
We've
hears that
been
when she's
critted
outside.
by the wall of text.
Basically says permanent death, randomly generated environment,
Yeah.
super hard. There you go. It doesn't have to be turn-based, because why else Binding of Isaac isn't turn-based?
No. I mean, other roguelikes aren't turn-based.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
don't think you see
I just
many
don't think
permanent
it needs
death.
to be, it's a requirement.
You don't see too many permanent death games today just because people don't like losing.
Yeah, no, that's
Well,
true.
Look at Bloodborne. Bloodborne has permadeath. Fire Emblem has permadeath. Binding of Isaac does.
I mean, one of the things I do on 7 Days to Die is I'll play worlds where once I die, I die. I delete that world and start over.
Look at the popularity of Nuzlocke in Pokemon. That is essentially, in a way, hard mode where if you lose if that Pokemon dies, then they're dead, and you got to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Dead.
I've never beaten a game
Nostalgia
like
is
that.
like
I
people,
tried.
People misinterpret nostalgia. They think it's just leeching off the past and not being able to move forward, but they don't understand that a lot of so many games are influenced by that. And they're good games. Why else would Shovel Knight get such good ratings? It's not just a bunch of people who can't let go of their past.
I mean, that is part of it.
Well, to a degree, but
And part of it is just, things were better when.
Yeah.
well,
And
people who say
sometimes
that all the
they're
time.
right.
Halo was better when so and so was writing for them.
It was like,
Assassin's
I'm
Creed
tired
Assassin's
was
Creed was better
when
when
so
so
and
and so
so
was
was writing for
I'm
them.
tired of all of these first-person shooters. Do you know what people were saying in the 90s? I'm tired of all of these mascot platformers. So some things never change. You're always going to have something everywhere. Like right now, I'm like, I'm tired of all of these crappy indie horror games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm okay with them because every now and then you'll find a really good indie horror game.
That's
And
the
for a
same deal
long
with
time-
the first-person shooters and the platformers. You're going to find something.
Yeah, but for a long time you didn't see any good horror games because they just don't make enough money for a AAA company to make. The last good horror game I remember
Maybe
seeing before this
okay.
latest craze was the Cthulhu's Dark Corners. But in a way, the only reason that was a good horror game is because they just retold H.P. Lovecraft's A Shadow over Innsmouth. Because, I mean, I've read that story. I've read that story a lot. And you know what? It literally reads like a player's guide to that game. And that's one of my favorite stories, so I'm not going to complain. But
I think a lot of gamers today are affected by nostalgia, whether they like it or not. And I don't think nostalgia is bad. I don't think it's not being able to let go of the past. I think it's being able to look at the past and having it affect you today in a positive way. Although sometimes it can be a negative way. Sometimes sticking to the past can make you feel archaic. I'm sure that like games that have intentionally bad controls just because a game they had back in the day was like that. I've played games that kind of do that, and that's, they would have been bad back then, quite honestly.
oh god, what was that one? Captain Skyhook or something like that? Oh god, that was a terrible control system.
I think we've seen nostalgia in a good light, and people who are not just like, I hate old games. And I'm like, well, then you probably hate new games too, because a lot of them are fueled by the same philosophies that affected the old games. So there you go.
Yeah. No, all in all, I think whether you play only newer games or whether you play only older games, even if you just look at nostalgia as the emotion of playing something in the past, everyone's gonna have a hint of it. And yeah, nostalgia, like the old games have, either which way, no one has had an original idea. They've always taken it from something or somewhere, which means nostalgia has always been a key fact in just the video game industry.
I just finished watching a documentary the other night about the whole fall of Atari.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I never heard that story until I watched that documentary because at the time I was too young. It was just, oh, Atari, Atari, Atari. Oh, now everyone's playing Nintendo. Honestly, never stopped to think, hey, why did Atari go away?
Well, I think that, well, I mean, I didn't see this, so I could be completely wrong here. But Atari, the crash of Atari kind of happened. It's kind of what we're seeing today. We're seeing an oversaturation of the same old ideas. In order for companies to survive, they have to stick to the same ideas that they know succeed, which means that originality is starting to go away, and the lack of job security is keeping a lot of the new talent away. Now, the difference between then and now is that we now have indie stores. We now have a very established indie community that can get their work out rather easily. But now we're starting to see a lot of, random shit on Steam Greenlight that's getting through. So in a way, we're kind of suffering from the same advances while dodging the old pitfalls, or maybe we're not. I mean, it's.
I personally hate the Greenlight program. Like anything on it, I will not even play, just because like there's just so much crap you have to ship through.
Every now
Yeah,
and then
but
I
didn't
see
you like Barony?
something interesting?
I liked watching it. I will not play games like that, just because like I'd have to play through so many bad games.
Yeah, but then you got the rest of us who do it for you.
Yeah. Like,
I'm trying to
I'll
think,
watch like Jack LaFear, like FP or Smoke, like play it, but I will not do it myself. my
What games
viewers
did
will
I
not pay
see?
for it.
Like every now and then you see a few good green lights. Like there's a game called Aerobat, which is sort of like an arcade game that I kind of dug. There's just, but there's a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap.
Do you have fun there?
Yep,
She's
totally.
feeling an invisible breast. Who has Maximilian? Who
No.
is that? Who's got Maximilian and the
Waluigi.
Monokai.
He subs to everyone.
Waluigi Tales has Maximilian as
He is a
as-
sub
I love
host.
that guy. He's so awesome. Chad Kroger, Maximilian.
We have, unfortunately, 5 minutes left. And actually, can you believe we only have 5 minutes left to podcast? This entire conversation. I feel like we've only been talking
It
for
was a
like
good
a half
talk.
hour.
I mean,
No, we got a lot to talk about. I feel like we had a lot more time to discuss this than if we had done the old format.
Oh yeah. This
I'm
is
just
why
kind of sad Ray Tog wasn't here for this one, so
I am keeping to this format.
I like it.
This is the
I'm good with
format.
this.
I
We
like
get a
this
lot
format.
done.
I like this format. So, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay?
Time of this shit.
3 minutes. McBriarty. 3 minutes.
Look at your chat.
Oh my god.
Go to that thing I put
What?
in the chat.
This is
What?
why I was kind of distracted. I was like,
What? Hello?
What happened?
Hello, more raiders. Hello.
Why
again.
do you have to raid when we're leaving? Please go to that channel and subscribe that I just put in the chat because that's where we do Let's Plays. Follow me on Twitter, blah, blah, blah.
Alex,
Go to-
this isn't for you. Hush you.
You
Hush.
said we
Hey,
We
you
have-
just promote.
We
I'll just
have
be here.
to say hi to our raiders. Hi, raiders. Hello.
or they're wearing eye patches.
Unfortunately, you are catching us right at the last of our 4 minutes. Imperial Salsa, hello. Hello. Hello, raiders. So, you now have 2 minutes, McBriarty. 2
Oh
minutes.
god, what am I doing?
Talk.
Outro.
Promote. Outro. Your
Plug.
thing.
Okay. Well, again, I'm McBriarty. I stream. I just changed my schedule to every day at 5 Eastern. I used to do 5 days, now I do 7. If you guys want to tune in for some Mario Kart, I know the DLC is coming out. Super hyped for that. And Town of Salem, cards, watch me fail at Half-Life, anything you guys want to do. You can jump in my chat. If you want about 20 people that are like Nara, jump in my chat. It never ends. I have my own Nara. He's called Green Movie. We love him. But yeah, feel free to tune in anytime. And we just actually tonight crossed 700 follows in just about 2 months of streaming.
Congrats.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to hit by the time Splatoon comes out, I want to be well past 1,000.
Dude, you're getting Splatoon? I should get that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Gotta
Splatoon,
get your
and
Nintendo
I'm gonna
Nintendo
play that
game.
for months. Love that. That is one of the games that Nintendo's coming out with that is not like a repeat of something. It's just
It's
a
brand
brand new
new,
idea.
made by Miyamoto's proteges.
The fact
Okay.
that they put Capture the Hill in it too, like, oh,
Alex, as quick as possible.
Burr.com/postnosmeric. Please go to that link that I posted in there. That is me and my friend What the Fuck's channel. We do LPs. Please subscribe. We're doing a ton of awesome stuff there. Yeah, all that stuff there that she just put in. There you go.
Tioger.
Okay, I really don't exist on the internet for the most part yet, but I'm thinking about changing that soon. So, trying to figure out what my first video is going to be. So, I have a Twitter account. Almir, Alex, I know you're both on there, so go through them, find it, post on there what you think the first video should be, whether it should be a training video, a crafting video of some sort of random thing I'm making, like the Iron Man mask I'm starting on right now, or if it should be a let's play of one variety or another, beat some decent or whatever. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I'm too cool for social media, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Speaking of nostalgia, anyone remember the Micro Machine Man?
And I am, of course, Almir Miel, also known as Kat. I am found here on twitch.tv, also on YouTube at Powa Button. Links for everyone are below us. You cannot, unfortunately, click on the screen, but you can type us in. And you can find us on Twitch, you can find us on Twitter. Like I said, I do a lot of stuff that is on YouTube. All of the previous episodes of Slash Chat Podcast are on YouTube. So yes, you should go definitely follow everyone's links. It has been an amazing night, everyone. Thank you, McBriarty, for guesting. Thank you for being here. Hopefully we didn't bore you too badly.